It's an honor to be with you. Mr. Chancellor, sir, the Honorable Minister of Education, graduands, your parents, family, friends, colleagues. I am Scott Royster, the founder and CEO of Maarifa Education. And approximately 1 year ago, we acquired Cavendish University along with our partners at Emerging Capital Partners, ECP. And so this is my first graduation with you all. And I appreciate your giving me a few moments today to share some thoughts on this incredibly special and important day for you. The date was October 16, 1968. Mexico City, Mexico. Two Black American men, Tommy Smith and John Carlos, are receiving their gold and bronze medals respectively for finishing first and third in the 200-meter race. They are two of the fastest men on the face of the earth, and it is their day to celebrate their achievements. On television, the world is watching. And as they stand on stage listening to the United States national anthem, something happens. Prior to this day, every man, and for that matter, woman, ever put in such an esteemed position, either held their hand over their heart or by their side. But not on this day. On this day, 6 months after the assassination of Martin Luther King, Tommy Smith raised his right hand, his right arm, and clenched his fist. Black power. To his left, John Carlos raised his left arm and clenched his fist. Black unity. It was a moving image and a powerful statement. The date was February 11, 1990, outside of Cape Town, South Africa. Nelson Mandela emerges from prison after 27 years. He will soon become one of the greatest human beings the world has ever known. And this is the first day of the rest of his life. As he walks away from prison with his wife Winnie by his side, the world is watching. And while the world watched, Madiba raised his right arm and clenched his fist. And what does Winnie do? While holding Madiba's left hand with her right, she raises her left arm and clenches her fist. It was a moving image and a powerful statement. In two very different contexts, expressing themselves in the exact same way. The day was not about them. It was about their blackness. But it was more than that. These four Black people stood up to the oppressors of their day, stood up to injustice and inequality, and sent a message to the world that the world needed to change. They knew that the world did not have to be. The date is November 18, 2015, Bunyonyo, Uganda. I am a Black American standing in front of you, celebrating your day. Through my business of investing in universities, I have traded America for Africa. I am blessed and highly favored. Back in Washington, D.C., my kids live in a house 1 mile from the most powerful man on the face of the earth. A Kenyan, an American, a Black man, And every day, my kids ride to school and pass by the South African Embassy along Massachusetts Avenue. In front of that beautiful building is a larger-than-life bronze statue, Madiba, striding, with his right arm up and his fist clenched. My, how the world has changed. And this is the world you are about to enter. I am envious of and excited for you. There is nothing you can't do if you set your mind to it. But, because there's always a but, has the world changed? Has it really changed? 2 weeks ago, another young black man in America was shot by the police and killed. Why? Always hard to know the exact reasons why, but the theme is too strong and recurring. It seemingly happens a few times a month, and there is always a different excuse. But every time is the same result. An innocent black person is dead. And that is not right. And that needs to change. And in Mukono district, on land that we own, and where we plan to start building a beautiful new campus next year, Siobhan and Stella and their 3-year-old Katrina live in an abandoned building because they have nowhere else to go and very little to eat. And the average Ugandan will make in his or her lifetime what the average American makes in 1 year. And that is not right. And that needs to change. And this is where you come in. This is your day to celebrate. You have earned a gold medal. This is the first day of the rest of your lives. But what will you do with it? We all have a long way to go. If you think you are free, you are only partly right. This country and this continent still suffer from the tragic effects of colonialism, even long after the colonialists are gone. If you think you are equal, you are only partly right. On every metric, income, employment, educational attainment, and health, Africa is way behind most of the rest of the world. But it doesn't have to be this way. We bought this university because we care. And because we believe in you and we believe in Africa, and we love you and we love Africa. We bought this university because as a black man, I want to see that every black person on the face of the earth has a chance. And university education is the chance that so few people in Africa actually get to pursue. But it's the one foundational thing that can truly set you on a path to sustainability for yourself, your family, your community, your country, and indeed your continent. We bought this university because you deserve better than what you have had, and our plan is to make Cavendish University the greatest university that Africa has ever known. What I ask of you today is to believe. No matter where you're from in Africa, I ask that you believe. Believe, as Martin Luther King said in his greatest speech, in the fierce urgency of now. The fierce urgency of now. Believe in your country now. Believe in your continent now. Believe in yourself and believe in each other now. Believe in your blackness and believe in now. Know that you are on the cusp of a new day in Africa, but that day only becomes a much brighter future for yourselves and your fellow Africans if you keep your head held high, do the right things, love each other, work hard, produce, innovate, take risks, and never give up. And then do it again. And never put your fists down. God bless you. God bless Uganda. And God bless Africa. Thank you. In the spirit of change, development, growth, evolution, some of the themes that I just spoke to, I want to make an announcement. It's a wonderful announcement. I'm excited and honored to be able to do this and to share it with you all today. But first, what I'd like to do is introduce you all to a wonderful gentleman who I've gotten to know over the past 6 months and who's done just an amazing job supporting us over the course of the past little while here at Cavendish as our interim executive director. Mr. Guy Dowdy, would you join me please, Guy? An individual who has spent many years in the African context, on the African continent, supporting higher education institutions in many places, and he's been with us for the past several months, really helping us do some work that needs to be done in order to truly transform the university. I want to thank him for his service. He will continue to work with us here, and as we at Maarifa expand across the continent and make investments in other universities and other places, Guy will become an important part of our team as we look to do what we've done here in Uganda elsewhere. Thank you, Guy. Now let's talk about Koi. Prof. Koi is someone I've gotten to know over the past few months as well. She's a consultant, an educator, a trainer, a woman, a Kenyan, an amazing human being, a great mother to 2 amazing kids. And she is joining us today because in about 6 weeks, she will become the new Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University Uganda. You will learn a lot about Prof. Koi in the upcoming weeks and months. She has been the Vice Chancellor of the University of Kenya. She has spent almost 20 years of her life in some contexts in the higher education sector. And again, I could not be more honored or excited, pleased, humbled to call her our leader. And so she'll spend just a few minutes today with you and a lot more time in the future. Certainly a lot more than I will, because I know you're probably sick of hearing me talk at this point. But for today, let me bring her forward, ask her to share a few remarks, and then, like I said, formally joining us at the beginning of January as the new Vice Chancellor of Cavendish University Uganda. Prof.